Okay, folks, here we are. Why don't we do it this way? Oh, no, can't do that. All right, so here we are back where we started last time in the living room for a progress report. It is Thursday, and these windows, the front windows, have been worked on so that they can open and close. So they had to be removed and sanded and worked in order to get them to open and close. They've been cut in, scraped, primed, painted. They might have to have a second coat of paint. The door here has been all scraped down. You remember I peeled off some paint with my finger. It's all been scraped down and primed. The same thing with these two windows here. The swinging windows have been removed, sanded with the belt sander so that they would actually close. And so they will close now and open, of course, which would be nice to get some air. There's no screens on these, but I guess that the new owners can put screens on if they want. It will need a final cut-in coat of paint. I think since you were here last, the walls have been painted in this living room, and so it has a coat of oil-based primer on it, and then a lot of the woodwork has been coated. The baseboards are all coated with, they're washed, scraped, primed, and coated with finish coat of paint. Most of the woodwork has that finish coat as well. The bathroom door here would not close, so that had to be belt sanded at the top there, scraped down, belt sanded, primed, and this is going to have to be painted. The striker, it wouldn't close, but it also would, the latch would not catch. Once we made it close, we had to remove the latch here and move it up and then reattach it. The same thing with the catches on these windows. For some reason, and we have to paint around this, but for some reason these sat proud of the window frame. So when you tried to close the window, it was hitting on these. So we had to take these off, take a chisel and go around it, first with a pencil mark, then with the chisel outline, and then working it down to get it to be below the window frame here. This bedroom was already looking pretty good last time you looked at it, but we've got the doors washed, and we've been alternating them on the sawhorses to get primer and finish paint on it. This one actually I think is done, but this room is looking pretty good. We will have to put the trap door on the attic there and paint that, but we still have something to do up in the attic. So this is new, the paint here. We've been working on this bedroom. Here, I'll try and zoom out a little more. This room has a coat of primer and a finish coat. We're going with flat paint on the walls on the two bedrooms and the living room. So the walls and the ceiling have received primer and finish paint. There are a couple little blemishes up here that we put a little mud on today. The windows here have been removed. So the stop here, window stop was removed. These were taken out. These would not slide up and down at all. So we had to take them out and belt sand the edges, clean it up, scrape up gross paint. These window stops, if you look behind here, I put it on the table saw and made a straight line with that in the belt sander so that we have a nice clean edge on that. And now they do open and close. And same thing with this one. This was removed and this one I didn't have, I just used the belt sander on it. I didn't need the table saw. And then it was primed and put back in. And now these windows, both of these windows go up and down. There's been a lot of, the baseboards have been washed, primed, painted, a coat of finish paint. As far as the closets go, I don't know if you remember what this looks like, but this was all open with big cracks. Still isn't completely dry. This was done yesterday, actually, but we used some hot mud in the corners there, which is a very hard product. And then on the walls here were skimmed. I don't know if you can remember seeing all those pock marks, but as soon as this is finished drying, we'll sand it, maybe a little more mud on this one. So this closet will be done. This closet, same thing. The walls had all those pock marks on them. We smoothed out this and did some work on the walls. Over here had to be sanded. And then what I'm going to do here on this opening, you can see it looks totally different. I took and I put a 2x4 in here next to the funky one here. So I put a 2x4 here, and then I ripped some pieces down on my table saw to bring this out a 1/2 inch to be flush with this wall. And then I did the same thing at the bottom here along the sill plate. And then I have another piece here, which I fit in behind there. And I'm going to put a panel on here. And that way we can paint the panel and we'll put it on there with some screws, maybe 4 or 6 screws. And then we can remove that when the termite guy comes. So as soon as this is done, we'll finish working on this floor here, which has already had some work done on it. Back into the living room. This is where, I don't know if you remember what this looked like before, but we've got some wood oak flooring boards to put in here, but it first required taking out the old and scraping it down and using the oscillating tool, which is over here. This is the oscillating tool, nailer, the grinder. And so this is very close to being ready to have that the pieces of wood cut. I've already ripped some of those pieces down on my table saw to fit in here. So that is close to being done. So we were able to get in this doorway through to the kitchen. Last time I didn't know exactly what I was going to do with this piece, but we were able to get it out without doing any damage to these 2 trim pieces in the wall. So that's out. I'm going to stop by Menards and pick up a piece of 1x6 and then rip it down to 5 inches to fit in here. The kitchen, you can stand back here. The kitchen has had a coat of that oil-based primer on it. The ceiling still has to be washed and primed. But so we've done some stuff on the kitchen here. I assume this light fixture should probably come out. Maybe we should pick up a cheap light fixture to go on there once we get it. But this thing should probably be removed completely. I recognize that the retractable thing here is kind of cool. If you put a table here, you could do that. But yeah, it doesn't want to go back up. And then as far as this light fixture, I think we'll probably just keep that one. I got the glass in the cupboard there, and we'll clean that up and put the glass back on. The glass is already clean. And the kitchen, of course, is our workshop. So it'll be usually the very last thing that we do. Down in the basement, the steel post is in. So you can see the steel post, which is replacing that damaged termite one. The This light fixture here had electrical shock hazard because this part was broken off of it for some reason. But this is a new one that we bought that you paid for at Menards, and we installed that. We've got the wood down here, which is going to go for the floor, the base board that is missing. So these boards are going to do the closet and the living room once we get the floor ready to put that down. I'm going to pick up some shoe molding, 3/4 inch, so that we can put that next to it. It'll help hide some of the imperfections or to make it more visually pleasing. The furnace and the hot water heater are in pretty good condition. I've replaced the filters here. If we go back up the stairs and we can go outside, this week we started off the week by doing some yard work, so I can take you around and show you what happened here. I spent a better part of 2 days on it. I mowed the lawn. It looks like it needs it again. That bush over here was trimmed, and then all the bushes in front of the house were trimmed and raked up. The extra debris raked up and put in my trailer. We've got this stuff that is coming onto the driveway. I think it's maybe from the oak trees. And I blew it off a couple times already, but here it is back again. I don't know if you remember what this hedge-like part looked like, but this was all trimmed back and all the vines and stuff taken out of it. There's a lot of work done here. There's a lot of brush in here that was removed. Then when we cut back this and spray painted this railing, it looks 10 times better. And then with the bushes, I've got my table saw out here to rip some boards. I've got this bush here was trimmed. I took 2 huge loads out of here of wood. So back along here, there's just tons of debris on the ground, and we had a whole bunch of it. And it was all overgrown back here, and I cut all these branches down. I had a guy helping me for those 2 days doing that. The roof, I need to get up there with the blower, and maybe I've got a power broom that I can try and get rid of some of that moss and make that look better. But these bushes were just huge, but they're cut back now. And same thing back here, all of this growth is trimmed. It's very pleasant back here behind the garage. So it's just a nice looking area. There's also all kinds of brush. You couldn't even see the side of the garage here. It was so overgrown. There were 2 big trees. When I say big, it looks like maybe a 4-inch and a 10-inch that are back here. I took the main log, this section, which is kind of cool. It's pretty straight. You can make a totem pole out of it, but that has been, I just laid that against there to act as a base, and it looks fine. When I'm up on that roof, I should probably trim back some of these pine branches up here to get that cleaned up. But yeah, it's very pleasant back here. But this tree was actually very big, and it came up and it was hanging. All the branches were just laying on the roof. It had gotten so much overgrowth there. So we can walk around the yard here. There were a lot of little trees that I just cut down. We were able to get in 2 loads a lot of stuff because I take the chainsaw and I cut up all the branches to make them lay down in the trailer, and so I can get massive amounts. Then I pile it really high and take a rope over the top of it. In the garage, I pried up this piece right here, which in some of the prior pictures you can see where this was had fallen down. All this stuff here had fallen down. And so we went in here, we used a couple different jacks to jack that up. And once we got it up into place, it took quite a bit of persuasion to get it back up into the grooves and everything pried up. Then I fastened it down with these brackets, which we picked up at Menards for you. There's some more of them here to go. This bottom plate fits under here, and then these grooves go up into here. So that's the next step on the garage door, to put that bottom piece so it'll look a lot nicer from outside. I'll use brackets on here to secure this. The corner is a little punky here, and I might just take I have a piece of plywood that I can take and make a corner for that so it doesn't look quite as ugly. Here's the medicine cabinet, which has been removed. It was rusty and dirty and awful looking, but that was sanded and then primed and then spray painted white. Then I went back over it with some white Rust-Oleum, just to, might even need one more coat over it, but this is the Rust-Oleum that we picked up for this job. This is very, very good stuff. The garage, I should probably pick up some lumber to do this job, and I don't know if you've seen what the deal is here. When I was here last, I spent quite a few hours on this. This maybe 4 years ago. I took and I rebuilt the corner. It's hard to see, and I do have some video of when I did this, but down here is new wood. Underneath that is new cement. And so what had happened is it sunk down and the dirt was against it. So I dug a trench along here to keep the dirt away from it. But what was happening, water was running in over the years, and now these joists are just sitting, or these, the wall joists are just sitting on the ground here. So what we need to do is jack this up and replace those boards so it'll make it look like that. Now at the back here, this had pushed out. I think that that your aunt hit this and with her car and pushed this out. This just needs to be put a 2x4. I've got a 2x4 sitting here. I can jack that up and then try and get a piece under it and pull that wall in. This is really what the guy was complaining about. And then up here, he was talking about having this, they had like a trap door. I assume that was where they tried to heat the garage with something, and then they had an opening there, but maybe I can piece some lumber in there. So if I pick up some lumber, I should be able to fix this, this area, and then get this lifted up and back in, and then do some shoring up over here. And I think that would actually get the inspector satisfied. And then I'll also have to get up on the roof of the house and blow off that stuff that is falling from the trees. So you can see we've got some big trees over here. So that's basically the progress report for today. If you have any questions, of course, as always, feel free to ask.